Viral. Niggas is sick to their stomach.
What's up, world? It's your boy Nas God, hiphopisreal.com production. We are out here. Where we at, Tiger?
Foley Square.
Okay.
Foley Square, downtown Manhattan. Mysonne, the general.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Respect me.
Yeah.
Get Liz to come.
Well, let them break the chain. You want to get in here?
Sure.
Come on. Stop that when you're finished.
Terrorized are experiencing uptick in police abuse. And what we see is that great policing is happening in every other community except the black community. We saw in the park last weekend on the same day when brutality was happening on one side of Lower Manhattan. The police were passing out masks on the other side in a park where there were mostly white people in the park, laying around, some of them not socially distancing. We saw in the Hasidic Jewish community where police, even when they had to arrest someone, they treated the situation as if the person was human. They did not punch and kick or abuse people who were very upset. They were screaming, they were yelling, they were charging the police officers, and yet the officers remained calm. There were no curse words. The attitude that was given to them was as if they were citizens of New York City. But when they enter the black community, they enter as the animals that they consider us to be. They treat us like they are beasts looking for prey. And that is not acceptable. What we came out today to do, and understanding that it is an uncomfortable position for all of us who have come out of our homes today, where we are also socially distancing. But we came out because we cannot allow young people and vulnerable communities across this city to believe that they are standing alone. That as frontline activists and frontline leaders and organizers, we have to come out to provide a shield around our people so that out of desperation and pain, they don't make decisions that put their communities in jeopardy.
Thank you so much. Do you care, just when I'm writing this, would I be able to get your phone number or something if I have any questions about the event?
What do we demand? Justice! What do we expect?
Justice!
What do we expect? Justice! What do we pay for?
Justice!
What do we pay for?
Justice!
One mic. We are going to abide by social distancing guidelines as we march to one police plaza to the doorstep of the brutal force that is brutalizing black and brown communities across New York City. We are here peacefully to protect our young, our old, our sisters, our brothers, our fathers, and our mothers. We love each other. We love ourselves. And abuse will not be tolerated. And we will let them know this fact today. No justice. No peace.
Brothers and sisters, the government of New York City thinks that they can beat us in the street and then tell us to be silent. They think that they can use the pandemic as an excuse to continue to brutalize black bodies, to exacerbate the already brutalization of black bodies. And then they think they can silence us by telling us they suspend our right to protest against being beat. This is not okay with me, brothers and sisters. And I believe it's not okay with you. And that's why we are here today. So as we walk to the headquarters of the police in peace, social distancing, but we will not be silent. We will not allow de Blasio or anyone else to tell us that we have to be silent about our pain.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's right.
You are not going to suspend our First Amendment rights so you can continue to beat us.
That's right.
So I want you to understand we are within the law. Martin Luther King said an unjust law is no law at all.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So as they tell us we cannot have our First Amendment and we cannot protest against this brutality, they are in the wrong.
That's right.
We do not work for the government, they work for us.
That's right.
It's for the people, by the people.
Absolutely.
And today is where we start to take New York back.
That's right.
Yes, we understand that we have a pandemic. We want to be safe. I would rather be at home with my family right now.
That's right.
But I understand that as I am at home, my brothers and sisters are getting the shit beat out of them in the streets.
Right.
So I had to come out here as an activist, as a frontline activist as I am, and take whatever has to come with that. So as we march, brothers and sisters, I need you to understand that you are within the rights of the Constitution.
That's right.
You have done nothing wrong.
Say that.
They are the ones that are fault here. We have the right to speak up.
Yeah.
So do not feel like you're doing anything wrong. And do not allow them to make you think you're doing anything wrong.
That's right.
We are in solidarity and we are in love, brothers and sisters.
Right.
Let's go.
No doubt, baby.
No peace. No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No peace. No peace. No peace.
Chief, what up?
Peace. What's good?
Hello. I don't know if you remember me.
Yeah. What's
yeah,
good?
Yeah, everything good.
This is
Everything
my
good.
man basement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everything?
Everything healthy. You good?
Yeah, I see you supporting the movement.
You already know.
You on the ground floor for real, for real?
Yeah, we here with it. You know, this shit is just crazy what's going on. It's like, you know, white people and black people just being treated completely different in the same city. And it's just sad, honestly. It's like it's 2020. Like, that shit is just retarded. Like, the shit is every day is something new. It's just retarded. Like, it's getting to the point where it's just, we gotta be here marching, ready to hopefully not get locked up, but probably get locked up.
Yeah, I see Mysonne, he said he will whatever, He said at the end of the day, it's social distance, but we still gotta maintain our First Amendment. We still gotta be able to protest.
You already know that.
Talk when we feeling some type of way.
That's a fact. I mean, and it's like the other people is doing it and they don't say nothing. Like, they handing out masks. You know what I'm saying? They don't get physical, they don't get violent. Why is it just with us? but it's gotta stop, bro.
Nah, real talk, man. What about, you know, the brother that got killed in Atlanta, the way he got killed, that, you know, got everybody...
Yeah, that's the straight, you know, that's straight racism from the fucking 1700s shit right there, man.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't get locked up, whoever the DA is or call for them not to get locked up should be arrested for what's it called when they fuck with a case?
Yeah. Tampering?
Not tampering, I forget what it's called, but they need to be locked up for some shit.
Nah, that's real.
No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
No justice!
No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice! 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 No peace!
My check!
My check!
My check!
My check!
My check!
My check!
It is our duty to fight for freedom!
It is our duty to fight for freedom!
It is our duty to win!
It is our duty to win!
We must love and protect one another!
We must love and protect one another!
We have nothing to lose but our chains!
We have nothing to lose but our chains!
Today we are gathered here.
Today we are gathered here.
Today we are gathered here because the NYPD.
Today we are gathered here because the NYPD.
Today we are gathered here because the NYPD and our mayor and our governor have sent clear and direct messages to us that our black and brown bodies don't matter in this New York City. Every single day for the last several weeks, we have more and more incidents of crime and anti-blackness and hatred towards our people. Is this okay?
No!
Are we going to stand for it?
No!
Every single day, a mother is burying her child at the hands of NYPD. Today we say we are no longer going to allow the killing of black and brown people. Dear New York City, we built this city, and we deserve to be protected equally under the same constitution as our world counterparts. Yes or no?
Yes!
Yes or no?
Yes!
Dear Mayor de Blasio!
Dear Mayor de Blasio!
Dear Mayor de Blasio!
Dear Mayor de Blasio!
You are no longer allowed!
You are no longer allowed!
To allow the NYPD
to
use us as target practice.
To use us as target practice.
To put our babies in the ground.
To put our babies in the ground.
It stops today.
It stops today.
It stops right now.
It stops right now.
We built this shit.
We built this shit.
And we coming back for what's ours.
And we coming back for what's ours.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah. Come on. No justice. No peace. 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 No justice.
My name is Jamani Williams. I'm the public advocate for the city of New York.
Yeah.
And I'm honored to be here with y'all. I'm sad that we have to be here because we shouldn't be. We should be home. We should be with our family. I first want to make clear that everybody in this city needs to be following social distancing. Everybody should be wearing masks if they can get it or staying home. Everybody has that responsibility. But the problem is everybody's not treated equal. So one, the answer to this problem is not summonses and arrests.
That's right.
And we said that weeks ago to a mayor who ignored it. Second of all, if you're going to deploy law enforcement, you should do it equitably.
That's right.
You should not hand out masks in Chelsea Pier and punch people in the face and throw them in the ground in East New York.
That's right.
That's a fact. And that's why we're here today. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
10 weeks ago.
10 weeks ago.
10 weeks ago.
10 weeks ago.
We started seeing some decisions from our leaders. 10 weeks ago.
10 weeks ago.
Many of us said our leaders were making the wrong decisions. And we said there was a human cost to those decisions. Now we are seeing them. About 10 weeks ago, they told some New Yorkers to stay home. 10 weeks ago, they told other New Yorkers, you have to go to work. You are expendable. 75% of essential workers are black and brown. This virus does not discriminate. Everyone in socioeconomic status are suffering. But people, policies, laws discriminate. So we sent out black and brown folks to work. We gave them no personal protective equipment. We told them you're essential. And on top of that, we didn't test them. These decisions, hear me clearly, these decisions were not Donald Trump. These decisions were made by Bill de Blasio. These decisions were made by Andrew Cuomo. And on top of that, what they're doing now is sending police to black and brown communities to summons and arrest. I repeat, that decision is not Donald Trump. That decision is not Donald Trump. Those decisions were made by Mayor Bill de Blasio and Andrew Cuomo, who said, I quote, you have to enforce. Who said, I quote, you have to enforce. And what makes it worse, this mayor and this administration got elected by the blood and the tears of these communities and told them I would be different. But now I hear the same things I heard when Bloomberg was in office. And now I hear the same things I heard when Giuliani was in office. Now I'm glad I hear a little difference now. But the fact is, speaking without actions means nothing. We do not have the luxury of time. We are not asking. We are demanding. We are demanding that you respect us. We are demanding the resources every community has. We are demanding education. We are demanding masks. We are demanding only that thing. You promise.
Thank you. My name is Black Russian. I'm not a politician. I'm not a social activist. I'm just a regular citizen just like you. When I first saw what was happening in the city when young black men were being beaten, I was so angry I started shaking. I wanted to cry. This is absolutely ridiculous. We are not here to negotiate that you treat us fairly. This is not a negotiation. This is a right. You cannot, you will not continue to beat black and brown people. We are not breaking the law.
That's right.
We are not breaking the law. Why am I at risk? Why is the color of my skin a threat? I go to work just like you. I pay taxes just like you. I probably pay more taxes than you. You don't have the right to beat me. I'm not afraid of you. We are not afraid of you. We are not breaking the law. Likewise, we're not challenging you to a fight. But we are telling you, without question, you're going to respect my majesty. You're going to respect who I am. Without question.
Let's go.
Mic check.
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 Since when
Since when
is it illegal
is it illegal
to breathe?
to breathe?
I'll tell you when.
I'll tell you when
This mayor
this mayor
allowed Daniel Pantaleo
allowed Daniel Pantaleo
to choke the life
to choke the life
out of Eric Garner
out of Eric Garner
and get away with it
and get away with
for
it
5 years.
for 5 years.
They tested
They tested
the theory
the theory
we can take
they can take
their breath
their breath
from them,
from them,
and they will do
and they will do
nothing about it.
nothing about it.
Now they're telling us
Now they're telling us
you can't breathe.
you can't breathe.
None of you can breathe.
That can breathe.
None of you
None of you
can breathe.
can breathe.
None of you
None of you
can breathe.
can breathe.
I will breathe.
Breathe.
I will breathe.
Breathe.
I will breathe.
Breathe.
I will breathe.
Breathe.
Without your permission.
Permission.
Without your
Permission.
Without your permission.
Permission.
I will exist.
Exist.
I will exist.
Exist.
I will exist.
Exist.
Without your permission.
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 I will uphold the Constitution.
The Constitution.
I will uphold the Constitution.
The Constitution.
I will uphold
the
Constitution.
The Constitution.
Without your permission.
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 I will
live.
I will
live.
I will
live.
In dignity.
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 Without your permission.
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 We pay your salary.
Your salary.
We pay your salary.
Your salary.
We pay your salary.
Your salary.
You work
without
permission.
Without permission.
You work
without
permission.
Without permission.
You work
without
permission.
Without permission.
You don't
have permission.
have permission.
You don't
have permission.
have permission.
You don't
have permission.
have permission.
Have permission.
To steal our breath.
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 Bill de Blasio.
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 You cannot.
You cannot.
You don't have.
You don't have
our permission.
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 To return.
To return.
To return.
To return.
To return.
To return.
Criminal policing.
Criminal policing.
Criminal policing.
Criminal policing.
Criminal policing.
Criminal policing.
On your way out.
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 We brought you in.
We brought you in.
We brought you in.
We brought you in.
We'll take you out.
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 No justice.
No justice.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace. No peace. No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
Brothers and sisters, I have no business being out here today. None. My mother, 2 months ago, had a massive stroke. And my family is responsible for her care. I should be in my home, socially distancing, not out here protesting next to all of you. But I have no choice, because my son, who's also out here with me today, he goes to the store. He gets a breath of fresh air, and he has the right to go outside and not be stopped, punched, and to have a police officer sitting in his neck.
Say that. Say that.
He has that right.
Let's go.
So I'm out here because I call myself a frontline activist.
That's right.
And so if you're going to beat my son, you got to beat me first.
Say that.
Not just because I'm an activist,
And you got to beat me before you beat her.
because I'm his mother.
That's right.
And we, as parents, as leaders, as organizers, have a responsibility to protect our young.
That's right.
You see, there's great policing that goes on in this building. You know why I know? Because I saw it on camera. When these officers approached a community in Brooklyn where the Hasidic Jewish folks were having a service and they felt that someone needed to be arrested because they were not properly socially distancing, they went in and they did good police work.
Talk about it.
They had respect.
Talk about
They
it.
handled the community with respect.
Talk about it.
They approached them, and they approached a group of people who were clearly very angry because, like all of us, they were there to mourn their loved one.
That's right.
They didn't necessarily understand why their loved one was being arrested.
right.
I saw them. They approached the police. They were passionate. That's what we see in our communities. When our people see someone being arrested and they don't think anything is wrong or that the person was doing anything illegal, they rush to them. It's a natural instinct.
That's right.
But the way in which these police officers handled the situation there was done with good police work. They talked to the community. They did not kick, they did not punch, and they did not use the F word to talk to people like they're animals.
That's right.
And what we're saying is, we want to be treated the same way.
That's right.
We're saying that that's how you do the job.
That's right.
The job we pay you to do.
That's right.
We also want to say that Mayor de Blasio needs to stand up and be a man and get control over the people who work in this
That's
building.
right.
We hired you, Mayor de Blasio.
Talk about it.
You came to us. You asked for our vote. We stood with you. I personally raised money to have you be here. And right now, you're going to leave the mayoral office disgraced.
That's right.
Because this police department does not give a damn about you. Now, we've heard two different stories. I've been told that as a result of the work that is happening across this city, that they have decided less enforcement, more community engagement. And that's what we always wanted. More community organizations having the right to go in and talk to our people about social distancing. We support that. But we also see that this commissioner, who is the head cop in this city,
Talk about it.
is saying that respect goes both ways.
Talk about it.
All right.
We're trying to find out which way.
What?
Is it for people who are of a lighter hue?
Talk about
Where's
it.
the respect for the black man
Talk
and the
about
black woman
Where's the respect?
and the brown man and the brown woman in this city? We want to know. I was hoping that when we got here today, that Mayor de Blasio would be here.
Right.
Because I'm told that he goes to communities to help disperse crowds that he respects.
How
That's
about
right.
that?
But he's not here today. And I wonder why not. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our responsibility. No matter what happened here today, we were coming. And I want to thank the public advocate who half the time, some of it he don't even agree with what we say. He have to tell us we wrong. We saying stuff he like, that ain't the message and I don't support that. But he still is here because he understands that we all have one goal. And the goal is that we will all be able to properly socially distance in this city, follow the rules, care for our families,
That's right.
protect one another,
That's right.
and not have to come out here to protest because we see children lined up on their knees
That's right.
outside of a fence at a park.
Disgraceful.
That's
Children, babies. It's outrageous. The other thing I want to say is that the public advocate should have stayed home because today is his birthday.
Happy birthday.
But on his birthday, he is out here advocating on behalf of the public. You see, because he understands that the people voted for him.
Maybe he should be mayor.
But maybe he should be mayor.
Maybe he should be
Maybe
mayor.
he should be mayor. But the police department and the current mayor, they don't understand who put them in position. So that's why we came down here to let them know. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot stay here long because all of us need to return to our families. So we are not going to be here long. We may hear from 1 to 2 more speakers, but I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that some of us sacrificed to come and stand and be here with us today.
That's right.
I see Rabbi Barrett Elman, who came down to stand with us, who's
right.
always with us on the front line.
That's right.
And there's a number of other people, but I think Justice League is in the house.
That's
Our
right.
Sister Chris is here, and there are many others. I see Sister Yandy just walked up
Yes, my
to
sister.
be with us.
As usual.
Jonathan, also another one of our TV stars, has walked up to be with us. People who have families that really should be at home. But I call out Barrett Elman specifically because I understand how difficult it is to try to negotiate between communities in this city.
Say that.
And she is here as a sign that she respects and honors the relationships that we are building. And I think that every single person, and particularly white folks in this city who see what is happening to people of color, if you say you're our friend, you call yourself an ally, but you are not standing with us in public, don't try to talk to us in private.
Say it louder. Say it louder.
Peace, brothers and sisters.
I just want to say some things because I can't really say much that hasn't been said. But the reality of the situation is we came out here regardless. And there was a lot of people saying, no, you should stay home. No, what are you going to protest for? The people that watch these things happen try to deter us from fighting for our freedom. That's right. There was a governor and a mayor that told us that they suspended our right to protest. And the people you see came out here regardless. We were prepared to do whatever it was going to take to get the necessary justice that we desire and we demand. So I want you to understand that. Power concedes nothing without a demand. That's right. If we do not demand nothing, then we don't get anything. Say that again. We understand what's going on right now. If they can beat you, then they can shoot you. That's right. And that's how the circumstances roll over. If we do not be very vigilant in this moment, ladies and gentlemen, it will get worse. If we are silent, if we allow them to take away our First Amendment, then they'll take away every other amendment. That is where we are headed right now, ladies and gentlemen. Say that. If you are not paying attention to what's going on, then you need to. We have to fight. We have to not be scared. They have used social distance and this pandemic to put fear in us. People are scared to go out and protest for their rights. You are watching your brothers and sisters being beat in the streets and you scared to go outside. Say that. I'll be damned. I'd rather die outside than die in my house. You are not going to kill and beat my brothers and sisters while I sit home comfortable. That's right. I would not allow that. Right. So if I had to come out here and get arrested or whatever it was going to take, then so be it. And that is the mind state it is going to take for us to get the justice and the respect and the equality that we demand. So when you leave here, brothers and sisters, understand that you stood up. Next time, bring 10 people. That's right. Next time, bring 20 people. That's right. Understand that you stood for something. That's right. Don't listen to anybody that tell you to stand down while they beat you. Don't allow anybody to tell you you stupid for speaking up. That's right. For speaking against injustice. You make sure that you stand up. Because if you don't stand up, then they will lay your ass down. That's right. God bless you.
We're about to shut it down. And we want everyone to return to their homes in safety, security, and soundness of mind and spirit. But we gotta recognize that you cannot defeat your enemy by adopting their ways. You gotta recognize how precious each and every drop of all of our blood is. And we cannot give those that need no excuse any excuse to shed any more of our blood. We win not because we hate, but because the power of our love is greater.
That's right.
The power of our love for one another is greater than their hate. The power of love for our children is greater than their hate. The power of love for our freedom is greater than their hate.
That's right.
And we will not take hate and write it and alter it into our spirit and into our playbook. We're here because there's no greater love than for a brother to lay down his life.
Say that.
For his brother.
That's right. Right.
For a sister.
Say that.
To lay down her life.
That's right.
For a sister.
That's right.
For a parent.
That's right.
To lay down their lives.
Talk to him.
For their children.
Say that.
We will not show our children the pathway forward is by adopting the ways of their enemy.
That's right.
We are greater. That's why they fear you.
Say
We
that.
have more power. That's why they slay you.
Say that.
We have more wisdom. That's why they undereducate you.
Say that.
We have more history. That's why they rob us of ours.
Talk about it.
Talk to him.
We will leave here today stronger,
Give him that.
more courageous,
That's right.
more powerful,
Say that.
wiser,
Say
and
that.
more victorious in peace,
That's right.
in unity, and in love for one another.
That's right.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we demand?
Justice.
What do we demand?
Justice.
What do we demand?
Justice.
What do we pay for?
Justice.
What do we pay for?
Justice.
What do we pay for?
Justice.
Yeah.
All right. So I think it's appropriate for us to have a moment of silence for Brother Aubrey, Brother Ahmad, and also we want to share a story with you all that you'll hear more about over the next coming days. There was a young sister in Louisville, Kentucky, named Breonna Taylor, who was in her home, sleeping in the bed with her partner. And the police officers went to her home looking for someone who has not lived there in 3 years. When they got there, all the witnesses, all the neighbors, including his account, her partner's account, was that there was no aggressive knock and announcement that police officers were even there. And they went into their home. When the partner saw that there was someone in the house who he assumed to be an intruder, he fired one shot. I believe he hit the officer in the leg. They opened fire, at least 12 shots, and I know 8 of them actually hit the sister, and she was murdered, just waking up out of her sleep. The crazy part about it, because you may say, well, he did live there at some point, it may have just been a mistake. But the crazy thing is that the police had already arrested the man. He was already in police custody for 4 hours. For 4 hours, and they didn't check, and therefore a young woman, 26 years old, she was one of her mother's 2 daughters, lost her life. An EMT worker on the front line working during this coronavirus situation. She was killed. We don't talk enough about women,
Say that.
black women,
Say that.
whose lives are taken by the police and the abuse that we see. When I watch a video of a young sister so frustrated, like this sister here is frustrated. I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong pronoun. Young sister here is so frustrated that it's at the point where people feel like they're boiling over. And we're going to love up on our sister so she doesn't feel that she has to take anyone's life in response to what is happening to us. We don't want to kill anybody. We just don't want to die.
That's right.
That's all we want is we want to live.
That's right.
And that's the world that we're fighting for. And this young sister in Brooklyn, or it might have been the Bronx, when I saw her feeling like she had to fight an officer, fighting a man, a young girl, I cried.
That's right.
And I cried for Breonna Taylor. And I cried because her partner was arrested and is still in custody for harming a police officer when intruders were in their home.
Right.
I cried for Tatiana Jefferson, a young woman who was shot through her window while playing video games with her nephew. I cried for all the women who have been murdered by state violence.
Say that.
And today, while we, as Attorney Benjamin Crump said to me earlier, and Linda, as we talked to him about Breonna Taylor, while we run for more, we must also stand for Breonna Taylor.
That's right.
And so today, let us have a moment of silence and then disperse in peace. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for showing up.
Thank you.
This is what it's all about.
That's right.
Your sacrifice is useless.
And there are people who are in their homes who needed to see this today.
That's right.
They needed to see folks show up for them.
That's right.
It makes them understand that that frustration that they feel, they may be able to channel it in a different way because there are people who care about them, and that you all need to know you are on the front line.
That's right.
We put our lives on the line today in many different ways.
That's right.
So God bless, and let's take this moment of silence. If there's nothing else that needs to be said, no one else?
It's your boy Nas, guy, Hip Hop is Real, Kid Life Production. We're here with Mysonne outside of the police headquarters and everything like that. You know, we brought a lot of people together, 6 feet social distance, in the house, quarantine, everything. But you brought the people out today, man.
Give Script one of those shirts.
What was so important to come out today, man? And bring all these people and have them out here with you and everything and making a stand today. Why was that so important today?
You know, it became more important. It was important when I first seen the violence happen in our communities, and I seen brothers being beat for sitting in front of their building, brothers being thrown to the ground, heads stomped to the ground, punched in the face for coming outside.
I've been popping since 50 Cent did in the club. What you do with 2 stimmy checks, I do with a dub. She wanna eat, but she threw it all up. She need my food, hey. So I'ma make it do what it does. What would you do if you knew what you could do with it, cuz? Why you mad at me? Like I released the COVID and tried to sell vaccines. Like I created this building, tried to control that fiend. I just picked up the sticks and tried to play.